well, it's not really morning. It's like afternoon, but I woke up like 10 minutes ago. No, I woke up like an hour ago. I had my yogurt bowl and everything, but I'm about to get my hair done, and I wanted to like show you guys the before, and then like I'll show you guys the after. My camera's about to die, but this is my hair before. I kind of did it last night because I went out to a heated rivalry race. So much fun, by the way. But this is it before, and in the next clip you guys are gonna see the after. So I'm back from my hair appointment and I feel like it looks so good. I only asked to get like the blonde out of my hair because I still had like a little blonde left in my hair, so I wanted that out and just a little trim, and I feel like it worked out really well. She did an amazing job. So yeah, now I'm back to like my original color before I started dyeing it like I think 2 years ago. Also, don't mind that shelf. The rest of my bookshelf is pretty and nice and cute, so look at that. Don't look at that. I was cleaning out my closet the other day and those are all clothes that I'm getting rid of, and I don't really know what to do with them yet, so it's just gonna stay there for now. They're all gonna get moved somewhere during this spring break that I have. Just, they're not getting moved right now. So I don't have enough books to fill up that shelf yet, but when I do, that's where all those books are gonna go.
Okay, now you're chasing clout, and that's what we're not gonna do.
So, and it's just a holding place until I get more books in. It gives my room a little bit of personality. Anyways, I feel like I haven't made a video or even a book video in so long. If you follow my TikTok though, I post literally all the time about the books I'm reading, books I've read, all of that. So if you want to see me on like a day-to-day basis talking about books, go to my TikTok. But I haven't talked about books on my YouTube channel in so long, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Like, I feel like my last few vlogs were in the summer. Yeah, they were in the summer, I'm pretty sure. I think. I could be wrong. No, I made like one winter vlog, but it was like barely about books. Like, it wasn't like a book video, and I've been wanting to make book videos, and I just haven't had the time because I like to plan them. I like to figure out like what I want to do. I really want to make a Lynn Painter book video, especially since Fake Skating is, well, first of all, she's coming out with a bunch of new books, First and Forever, I think that's what it's called, and Trustfall that she just announced, and Fake Skating is getting its own, I think, either TV series or movie. So I definitely want to make a video for Lynn Painter, but I still need to read one of her books that has come out and I just haven't read it, so before I make that video. So that's gonna be fairly soon. Yeah, there's like a ton of book videos that I have, and I've just been so busy and bad at making videos, but that's like not an excuse. It's an excuse, but not really an excuse, but whatever. So I decided today I'm gonna give you guys just like a little update on what I'm reading, what I've read so far this year. This year on Goodreads, I have a goal of reading 25 books this year. For the past like 2 years, I've been making it like 50 books, and I've only almost reached that. Now last year, the year before then, last year I only read 13 books out of 50, and that made me so disappointed in myself that I just didn't have like a good reading year. So I decided to make my goal a little smaller and like easier to reach, and if I get past 25, that's perfect. So far, I think on my Goodreads, I've read 7 books, and I'm reading my 8th one right now, so I'm on like a good track. I think I'm like 1 book or 2 books ahead of schedule, but I gotta keep my momentum going. Also, sorry I keep touching my hair. It's so soft and it smells really good. So every time I move it, I get like a whiff of it. I'm just gonna share with you books that I've read so far this year, my current read, and books that I'm planning to read since I got an Amazon gift card and I spent it all on buying new books, obviously. 2 of them came in today. One of them is out of stock, so I have to wait for it to be in stock, but I already ordered it for when it is in stock. And then another book isn't coming until 2 weeks? Wait, what day is it? No, like later this week, not 2 weeks. So, without further ado, I'm going to start off with the books that I've read so far this year and just tell you a little bit about them. The first one that I read this year that I actually brought with me from last year is the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. I love Abby Jimenez books. I've read 4 of them so far. I've read this one, I've read Yours Truly, and I've read Say You'll Remember Me and Just for the Summer. Out of all those books that I've read of hers, Say You'll Remember Me is one of my all-time favorite books and my favorite book from her. I think about that book on the daily. I think about rereading it all the time. I am obsessed with that book. It is so good. Like, I cannot stress enough how much I love that book. And I think I've talked about it before in here. I'm just not sure. But if you're looking to get into Abby Jimenez books, personally, I would say read Say You'll Remember Me first. But I know a lot of people start with Just for the Summer, and that's also a good book. That's like my second favorite from her. But I read the Happy Ever After playlist, and I think this is one of her, I think this is a part of a series that she wrote, but I didn't even know that. I just kind of picked it up. Not that I wasn't impressed by it, it just wasn't one of my favorite books. Like, it took me a while to get through this. I really had no motivation to pick it up. Compared to the high I had from reading Say You'll Remember Me and Just for the Summer, I expected this one to like be like, wow, like, oh my god, like, I love it as much as those ones. And it wasn't my favorite. I didn't like, I don't know, I didn't connect with it at all. The main character, she is getting over, I think her fiance died like 2 years prior, so she's still coping with that. And one day, she like rescues a dog, and that dog turns out to be owned by like this famous singer, and they meet and they click instantly and all that. And like, maybe I'm just not a person who really likes when book characters click like that. It wasn't my favorite. I felt like it was kind of rushed in some ways, their relationship, and I don't know, I didn't really like it, but I still love Abby Jimenez books. When she comes out with more books, I'm obviously going to read them. Her newer books, I like a lot better. I tried this one out, wasn't bad, but was not my favorite and probably will not reread. But if you want to try it, try it. I mean, it's not a bad book. It's just nothing that like got me going, you know? So after reading that, I decided one of my goals for this year was to kind of dip into fantasy more. I've read like a few fantasy books, not really fantasy. I know people are like Powerless is not really a fantasy book, but isn't it? Like, I would consider it a fantasy book with like just not a lot of world building. That's something that kind of keeps me away from reading fantasy in general. I do not like world building. Like, that's not something that I really enjoy, especially when it's like either like a bunch of chapters of it or like a whole book of it. Like, I tried reading A Court of Thorns and Roses like a few years ago, and I didn't like it, and literally anyone I talked to about it was like, no, like the first book, you just have to get through that and then like it gets so good, which I don't doubt. Like, I'm sure it does. I don't want to spend my time reading a book that I'm just like flipping the pages like this.
With monsters of such vile nature, whose appearance was so hideous and threatening.
Trying to get through it, you know, just for it to get good. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. It probably is, but I'm not a big fan of world building, so that's what's kept me away from fantasy for a while. But I decided, you know, let me try to make this year a year where I pick up more fantasy books and try to get into that world. So I saw this book a lot. I saw Steph Bower. She recommended this book in one of her videos like a while ago, and it's been like on the back of my mind to get it. And then I saw another TikTok about it, and I'm like, you know what, let me just get it. And I didn't even read, I didn't really remember what Steph said about it, and I didn't really read the cover. I've been doing that lately, where I just kind of buy a book and that's it. Like, if I see it once, like an aesthetic of it, or someone mentions it, I kind of just buy it and hope for the best. Which actually worked out when I read this book. It is Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. I love this book. It's about a girl, her name is Rune, and she lives, I guess I'm gonna consider it fantasy. I don't really know the difference. Like, I know like dystopian and fantasy can kind of like weigh each other out sometimes. Rune, she is like a part of like the high like social class, and she lives in a world where like witches are hunted. Well, not like a world, just like the area she's in, the kingdom she's in, whatever it's called. They hunt witches, and she so happens to be one, but she's hiding it, and she also rescues witches too. And there's kind of like an enemies to lovers. And the male main character is a witch hunter. So I'm not going to say too much about the book because I feel like the more I talk about it, the more I'm going to spoil it. But I think it's really good. I flew through this book so quick. Like I just like kind of fell in love with it. Like I don't know, it was really good. It's not too smutty. Like there is like a part where it's like, okay, like yeah, a little freaky. Which honestly, I don't mind smut in my books personally. I hate when it's like every single chapter is like boom, 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 boom. It's like chill. We can touch some grass. But in this book, I felt like the tension was really good. The tropes used in it were really good. Highly recommend, especially if you're trying to get into fantasy. I feel like this gives like a really good like taste of it, and also the cover is really pretty too. So, and I've noticed that fantasy books have the prettiest covers. Like that's what I'm so obsessed with when I get fantasy books, is the cover art. I think it's so gorgeous. And obviously after reading this book, I got the second book, which is Rebel Witch, which I'm not really going to say a lot on it because it's going to be spoiling the ending of the first book. This book also flew through it. I thought it was just as good as the first book. I mean, obviously the first book is better, but I thought it was just as good as the first book. The cover is gorgeous. Yeah, I loved it. So it's just a cute little duology that I absolutely flew through. So highly recommend. So while I was trying to dip my toes into like fantasy, that's when I was shown Heated Rivalry and exposed to it. It started popping up on my For You page, like, and I got everything Heated Rivalry, and I'm like, okay, let me watch the show. And this was like, I think a month after it came out, and I didn't even know it came out. And so I was watching Heated Rivalry while reading those books, and I felt like it was, and it was kind of funny because I'm not the type really to watch TV shows. Like I'm not a big TV show person. I'm not even like a big movie person either. But every single night I had to choose, like make a decision in my head whether to watch Heated Rivalry or continue reading either The Rebel Witch or Heartless Hunter. And I'm not ashamed to say most of the nights I chose to watch Heated Rivalry because it's literally, I think someone on TikTok said that it was black tar heroin, and that is exactly what it is. I've rewatched it multiple times. I love Heated Rivalry. I think I said before, I literally went to one of the Heated Rivalry raves last night. Anyways, kind of made it like a little difficult for me to say, oh, like I'm in like my fantasy book era, because all I could think about is hockey romances. And we know how easy it is for me to get like sucked into hockey romance because it's hockey romance. Like who doesn't love that? And I know I'm gonna get like stuck right back into that like black hole of hockey romance once the Off-Campus series show comes out, which I'm so nervous but excited for. Can't wait. But yeah, so I was really craving a hockey book, and I'm like, might as well read Heated Rivalry. So I went to Barnes & Noble, and the lady there said, I found the second book, but the first book, which is Heated Rivalry, was not there. So she had me order it, and after I finished like Heartless Hunter, like that duology, I had like a break of time where I didn't want to dive into like another like fantasy thing because I wouldn't be as into it since I'm so into hockey right now. So I decided to reread one of my favorite hockey books that I've ever read. Definitely past Off-Campus though. Like this is below Off-Campus, but still one of my favorite hockey books. And I also reread the Off-Campus series last year, which I probably shouldn't have done now that the show's coming out. I should, because everyone's rereading it right now and I feel so not included. But I literally just reread all the books last year. Whatever. But I reread Consider Me by Becca Mack. I read this book as a senior in high school. I am now a junior in college, which is disgusting. I don't even want to talk about that. But I really liked this hockey book when I read it. It's about Carter Beckett, he's like a signature hockey star playboy, and then I think the main girl is Olivia. Yes, and they just have like this like cute relationship. It just like, I liked it. I was into it. Second time when I was reading it, I'm like, oh, like this is definitely something like high school me would have like ate up, and I did. And I still ate it up this time when I read it. But there are some parts where I'm like, was I really into that? But overall, I really liked rereading this. I liked it the first time I read it, liked it the second time I read it. It's good. I highly recommend if you're looking for like a hockey romance. The only beef that I have with this series is I've read, I think, 2 other books in this series. I never finished the series because I guess I just kind of forgot about it. But they ended up changing the covers like halfway through while like there's still books coming out. So now whatever book I get added to the series is just not going to match this, which makes me so annoyed. Like that is, I think that was in my book pet peeve video, which I feel like I need to make like an updated one of it because I have some changed opinions. But that is still one of my big pet peeves is when an author changes the book series covers and you can't access like the old ones, even if you have them, or if you want to get them, you can try to get them for like $100 off of like a sketchy website. Yeah, like that is one, I hate that. I hate that. Like it's okay to have multiple versions of your book series, like the cover art. Like Off Campus has like 30 different versions of the series. So, but all of them I think you can still access. Whatever, that's my small rant, but if you want to read the series, this is my favorite book in the series so far. Yeah. So then after that, finally, the Barnes & Noble's gods called me, and they're like, your book's here. And I was like, I'm coming to the cottage. I can't do an accent. But Heated Rivalry came and, pause. Heated Rivalry was shipped to the store and I went to go pick it up and it was just like a beautiful moment. I talked to the cashier about it, like, so good. But I got home, started reading it, and I decided, you know what, I don't know how many scenes in the show match the book, so let me just like turn it on and try to match it like scene for scene, shot for shot. This book and the TV show are the exact same, and I feel like whoever is making any other book to movie, book to show adaptation needs to do whatever method that the director of and the writers of Heated Rivalry did, which is literally take out whatever was in there and plop it around the TV. Like shot for shot, scene for scene, I was literally like reading the words that they were saying on the TV. Like I love that. Because if I was someone who was so like dedicated to this book before the show came out, I would have cried tears of joy because, well, one, because I get to see Ilya Rozanov and Shane Hollander, obviously, but also because like it's shot for shot. Like I'm not disappointed when my book is literally just transported straight onto the screen. There were like 1 or 2 scenes that were in the book that weren't in the show, but it literally did not make a difference. Storyline exact same. I hope that whoever made the Off-Campus series into a show does the exact same thing and does it the same thing for books like Fake Skating. Every Summer After, we know Every Summer After means the absolute world to me. I hope they do the exact same thing. Like, if you're going to make all my favorite books that mean so much to me into these like shows and movies and whatever and expose it to the general public, please make it right, do it justice. Like, I'm not trying to gatekeep any books that I like, I'm not trying to do that, but do it justice, because when you leave out stuff that people who read the book know, it just like, it makes me annoyed when like people who just watch the show, like they don't understand something or they have different assumptions of something because something crucial was in the book that was left out of the show. I'm very passionate about this. Like, you guys understand. There's no way you guys don't understand. Like, it's not about gatekeeping. It's just about doing whatever you love with justice. I'm gonna make my hair greasy before, within an hour because of how much I'm touching it. Not that I have dirty or greasy hands. It's your natural oils. After I read Heated Rivalry and, finished rewatching it for, the 30,000th time, I decided, you know what, let me try to dive right back into fantasy. Might as well. I'm in the mood. So I saw this book being recommended. I forgot her name. There's one TikToker. She has the iPad. I love her book recommendations and I love her videos. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take, and I saw a TikTok that she made. Everything's about TikTok, obviously. I saw a TikTok that she made saying that this is like one of like the best fantasy books she's ever read. So I'm like, you know what? Let me buy it. Let me try it. And that is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I think also Rachel Gillig wrote, I think it's called One Dark Window, that a lot of people have been recommending me. So I'm thinking about trying that while I'm waiting for the sequel of this book to come out. Let me just say, this had a little more world building than I'm used to. Like I usually, like again, like I'm not a big fantasy reader. I'm not really into world building. So this had like a little more than I'm used to, but let me just say, this book was so good. And besides like the actual plot of it, like let's put the plot, the characters, all of that like aside, the writing in this book is absolutely beautiful. Like I love when I can read a book and genuinely like appreciate the way the author writes. Like I loved reading what she wrote. Like she could literally write "I shat my pants" and turn it into the most beautiful sentence, and it would be like placed on like a memorial or like benches in the park for how beautiful her writing is. Like like there's only a few authors that I can think of off the top of my head where I like actually like recognized like their writing style and like appreciated it and loved it, and it being like a big reason for why I continued reading their books. Because it keeps you intrigued, it keeps you like so immersed in the book. Yeah, the characters could literally be doing nothing, but as long as like the writing and like the description of it is top tier, which it was in this book, like I could literally be reading the same page like 30,000 times over and over again and I'd still be obsessed with it because it's that good of writing. So, I don't know, with these fantasy books, I don't know how to describe what it's about without giving away like crucial pieces of information. It's about a girl, basically, she's kind of trapped in this little bubble per se, and she meets someone and there's like a mystery aspect to it, and this person like helps her out like discover this mystery, and it's like this whole thing. And I'm just gonna say read it, it's really good. And also I fell in love with, there's a side character that's a gargoyle, the funniest character I've ever read about. Like there are only a few books in my lifetime that I've read that actually made me like laugh out loud, like LOLing on the floor, and that's Gibbsy from The Boys of Tommen and this gargoyle. Like so funny. Like if intrusive thought was a being, that would be that gargoyle. So The Night and the Moth literally has beautiful writing, complex characters, a good plot, a good storyline, well same thing, and comedy, and it's just, and the cover's gorgeous. Like look at that. So highly recommend reading as I threw it on the floor, whatever. Yeah, highly recommend. So between all of these books, those were only 6 books. I read 7 books, and that's because one of the books, even though we all know I'm not big on Kindle, like I haven't matured yet to where I can read it. Like I still love my physical hard copy books. But an author did reach out to me on TikTok. Her name is Alana Robin, and she told me that she's coming out with a book and she would love to send me an arc, and obviously I said yes, like who doesn't want a book arc? And her book is called At Tea Time. It's basically about a girl, she's on the golf team, but at her high school she never takes it seriously, but she needs a college scholarship, and the one she was trying to get she didn't get, so she's trying to become a better like athlete and golf player so that she can get a golf scholarship. And she has like a best friend, like two best friends, a girl and a boy, and this new guy that just moved into her town, and it has like aspects of like love triangle and all that. At Tea Time by Alana Robin. I thought it was really good. If you guys want like a cute little like rom-com like teen thing to read, like I would recommend. That is all for the books I've read so far, like cover to cover this year. So now let's move on to my current read. My current read I'm obsessed with. Obsessed. It's like fantasy dark romance in a way. It's so good. Like I am eating it up so much. Love the plot line, love the characters, love the tension, love the trope. Let me just say, if I can convince you of anything, it's to read this book. It has, it's a little spoiler, not really. There's a part, you guys know like the audio where it's like, you came, you called, and it's like all like the romantic, like oh my god music, like whatever. It's in the book. It's in this book. So I highly recommend reading it. And this book is called Phantasma. It's Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's about a girl named Ophelia. She finds out a secret about her family, and there's these games called Phantasma where you have to go through all of them, and then you get a wish granted to you by the devil. But her sister enters it, and you can get killed in these games. So it's given Katniss Everdeen. So she goes in these games to search for her sister, and and she uncovers so much and she meets Blackwell, who is so hot. She meets Blackwell, and that's all I'm gonna say about him. But highly recommend. So good. I know there's a plot twist coming up. I'm almost done with it, but I've seen on TikTok, I haven't gotten spoiled it, but I know there's I haven't spoiled it yet for myself, but I know there's a plot twist eventually. So yeah, there's a few plot twists, so I appreciate that. I had to let my camera cool down for a second, but that's my current read, Phantasma. Highly recommend. I am getting the second book too, so that leads us to the books that I am planning to read in the near future. I have been going book shopping, and I still have 2 more books on the way. I bought these over a period of time, within the last few months. Well, 2 of them I bought literally yesterday. 2 of them I bought a month or 2 ago. And the first one, which I mentioned before, this is The Long Game, which is the second book for Heated Rivalry. I know this is a whole big series and there's a chronological order. I'm planning on only reading about Shane and Ilya. Maybe I'll branch out and read about Scott and Kip or any other character in this series, but for now I just have Shane and Ilya. I just have room for Shane and Ilya in my heart. I was planning on reading this after I finished Heated Rivalry. Unfortunately, the second season I think isn't coming out until May 2027, literally when I'm graduating. Or September 2027 when I'll already be graduated. Anyways, so I'm you know what? Let me wait to read this and hold off. I have it now, but let me wait to read this until right before the show comes out, and then I'll have a background knowledge of the show and know what to expect and see how well it compares. So I'm gonna wait on this, but I have it. The next book that I got around that time is the series of Consider Me, and this is Fall With Me. I kind of forgot about most of the characters in this series, so so reading Consider Me was a good recap, but I'm pretty sure this character wasn't mentioned in the first book. I'm probably not going to read this anytime soon, but unless I sporadically get back into my hockey romance phase. But this is definitely the next hockey romance that is on my agenda. I have 2 more books that I have in my hands, in my possession, that I'm gonna read, and this is Enchantra, and look how pretty. These are absolutely gorgeous covers. I think these are the prettiest covers I've ever seen in my life. Look at that. So cute. Obviously, as you can tell, Enchantra is the second book to Phantasma. I'm pretty sure these are the only 2 books in the series. I haven't researched further. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it's just a duology, but I could be wrong. But I'm very excited to read this. This one is going to be about Ophelia's sister, and I'm not going to talk about this any further because I literally just had to probably cut out something. No, I am going to cut this out. I almost just spoiled something in Phantasma to describe this one, so we're just not going to describe that. But this is my next book that I'm going to read after finishing Phantasma. And the next book that I got yesterday was So I Can Finally Make My Lynn Painter video, and this is The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I didn't realize that this takes place on Valentine's Day, or I would have read it for Valentine's Day, and it's not a big read at all. But I've heard good things about it. I've never been disappointed by a Lynn Painter book. I think that's one of the only authors where I've read every single book she's ever wrote and have been in love and absolutely obsessed and flew through every single one of them. Me and my friend, we were talking about this the other night, and because I got her to read Better Than the Movies and then Nothing Like the Movies, and she literally said, she was like, I have never read a book where the second book was on the same level as the first book or even better, and she's like, I think I like Nothing Like the Movies better, because I know we were all so concerned about how she would make the breakup trope happen in Nothing Like the Movies, but obviously she did it perfect because she's Lynn Painter and she's like a magical wizard with her pen. Her pen and quill. Right, okay, whatever. But I'm excited to read this after I finish Phantasma and Enchantra. I feel like I'm saying that weird. I don't know. I used to go to speech therapy, whatever. I'm probably going to read The Do-Over so I can finally make my Lynn Painter book and finally be caught up on all Lynn Painter books before First of Forever comes out in May. And let me just say, I love having a birthday in May because I feel like so many books come out in May, like books and series. Like right now, another Lynn Painter book, First of Forever, is coming out in May, like I literally just said. And the Off-Campus series, the show, is coming out in May, so it's basically like birthday presents for me because they know it's my birthday, they know I love their books and everything. So those were 2 out of the 4 books that I ordered yesterday. Another book that I ordered, which actually this May, if I get it before I finish Enchantra, it's probably gonna slide in before The Do-Over, because I'm so obsessed with this book series. Well, the series, it's kind of like broke off into its own series, and it's Out of Her League by Liz Tomford. If you've read the Windy City series, you know that this is about Monty, who is Miller, who is from Caught Up, literally the best book in the series. I've been missing Kai Rhodes lately. Like, side note, I've been missing Kai Rhodes and debating on reading Caught Up again, just to feel something. That's like my favorite book in the series. Out of Her League is not a part of the Windy City series. It's like, I don't even know if it's going to be like its own full series. I know in the last book, I think, is it called Rewind It Back? It's Rio's book. And I know they like mentioned a few characters, like new athletes that I'm hoping she's going to write about. I just need her to be making more books like every single day because I'm obsessed with them. But Out of Her League, when I tried to order it on Amazon, was out of stock, and I'm like, I could wait. I could wait or look for it in Barnes & Noble, but I'm impatient, and I don't feel like driving all the way over to Barnes & Noble, so I just bought it. I don't know when it's going to come in, don't know when it's going to be restocked. Hopefully soon. Obviously I have enough books to keep me company while I wait, but yeah, I'm really excited to read that. If you haven't read the Windy City series, like, you need to read it. You need to. Like, it's so good, and with every book it gets better and better and better and better. I mean, I think peak was Caught Up, but all of the books are so good. And then I did order one more book, which I'm not gonna say, I don't know why my voice is like, I'm losing my voice right now. It's probably because I was screaming all night at the Heat of Revelry rave. So don't mind that. Book I've been wanting to read for years, and it's a part of a book series that I read a long time ago. And if you know what I'm talking about, or think you know what I'm talking about, then good for you, but I'm not gonna say it because I kind of want to make it like a little like surprise. I don't know if any of you are really gonna care, but I'm gonna care, and I care to make it a surprise. So that's all the hint that you get. But yeah, I ordered this book, and it's probably coming later this week. So that also may be able to slide, I don't think I would slide this book in before I read The Do-Over. This would come after The Do-Over. I think Out of Her League is just gonna, if it comes in, whatever book I'm reading, I'm either gonna wrap up quick or I'm just gonna jump into Out of Her League right after that. So yeah, so that is my book catch up so far over this year. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys got some good book recs. I miss you all. I miss talking about books. I miss hearing what you're reading or you think about what I'm reading. So follow me on TikTok, subscribe, comment. Anyways, I will see you guys in another video.